This is the IELTS listening test. You will hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have the chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 parts. Pause. At the end, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Now turn to Part 1. Part 1. In this part, you will hear a telephonic conversation, and based on that you will get 10 questions. First, you have some time to read questions 1 to 6. Now listen and answer questions 1 to 6.
Hello, Pedalworks Bicycle Repair. This is Martin speaking. How can I help you today?
Hi, Martin. My name's Ethan Kelly. I'm planning to take part in a charity bike ride next month, and I wanted to get my bike serviced. I also have some questions about possible upgrades.
That's fantastic, Ethan. We love helping people get their bikes ready for big events. What kind of bike do you have?
It's a Trek road bike, about 7 years old. It's been well used, but I haven't done any long-distance rides for a while.
No problem. We offer a comprehensive service package that includes checking the brakes, gears, tires, chain, and making sure everything is safe and running smoothly. The full service is £60 and it usually takes 2 days.
That's reasonable. Should I book an appointment, or can I just drop the bike off?
We recommend booking in advance, especially at this time of year. Saturdays tend to fill up quickly, but we're open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Saturday.
I'm off work on Wednesdays, so I could bring the bike in this week.
Perfect. If you bring it in by 10 a.m., we should have it ready for you by Friday afternoon.
Great. I also wanted to ask about replacing the tires. Mine are pretty worn, and I'd like something suitable for both road and light gravel.
Absolutely. We stock a few different options. Our most popular is the Continental Gator Skin, which is durable and handles a mix of surfaces well. Fitting and the tires together are $45 per pair.
I'll go with those. What about my saddle? After longer rides, it gets uncomfortable.
Saddles make a huge difference. We can offer you a memory foam saddle for $25, or you could try one of our gel seat covers, which are £12 and fit over your existing saddle.
I think I'll try the gel seat cover first.
Sure thing. Do you want us to fit it for you?
Yes, please. One less thing to worry about.
No problem. Is there anything else you want checked or replaced?
Actually, my bike lights are old and not very bright. Do you sell rechargeable lights?
We do. We have front and rear USB rechargeable lights as a set for $30. They're waterproof and have multiple brightness settings.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to read questions 7 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
I'll take a set of those as well. What's the best way to pay?
You can pay in the shop by card or cash when you collect your bike, or online if you prefer. We'll send you a text when your bike is ready.
Perfect. Is there any warranty on the work?
All our servicing work comes with a 3-month guarantee. If anything goes wrong due to our repairs, just bring the bike back and we'll sort it out for free.
That's reassuring. One last thing. Do you offer any discounts for charity riders?
Yes. If you show proof of entry for the charity event, you'll get 10% off all parts and accessories.
That's brilliant. I'll bring my entry confirmation when I drop the bike off.
Sounds good. Just so you know, we're located at 48 Market Street next to the old post office. There's free parking behind the shop for customers.
That's convenient. Is there a number I can call if I have any other questions?
Of course, our direct line is 01452-823-199. We're always happy to help.
Thanks for all the information, Martin. I'll see you Wednesday morning.
We look forward to seeing you, Ethan. Good luck with your charity ride.
Thanks. Bye.
That is the end of part 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Part 2. In this part, you will hear a monologue. A person is giving an orientation to a group of people. First, you have some time to read questions 11 to 15. Listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 15.
Good morning and a very warm welcome to everyone joining us here at the Ashcombe Outdoor Skills Center. My name is Theo Harding, and I'll be your coordinator during the introductory phase of your visit. We set up Ashcombe 5 years ago to help people of all ages and backgrounds reconnect with nature and develop a variety of self-sufficiency skills. These include everything from basic shelter building to map reading, wild cooking, and even team-based survival challenges. Our vision is not just about outdoor fun. It's about confidence building, communication, and environmental awareness. Now, our center is located on the edge of the Ashcombe Forest Reserve. We're surrounded by roughly 60 acres of mixed woodland, open meadows, and a small river that runs through the southern border. You'll find that the area supports a rich variety of wildlife, and we do our best to protect it. So we ask all participants to follow our Leave No Trace policy while on site. Now a little bit about the sessions you'll be involved in. All our workshops are hands-on, but they vary depending on the age group and experience level. For example, today's session for adults includes fire-starting techniques using flint and steel, basic knot tying, and shelter construction using natural materials. Meanwhile, younger participants will take part in a forest scavenger hunt, followed by storytelling and safety training. We run each session with a group of no more than 12 participants to ensure everyone gets focused attention. Each group is led by an experienced instructor, all of whom are trained in first aid and risk management. One of the unique features of our program is our Night Navigation Challenge, which we'll introduce later in the week. This activity uses glow markers and silent signals to guide your group through a simulated emergency evacuation in the dark. It's optional, but we highly recommend it. Many say it's the highlight of the program. During your stay, you'll also be preparing your own meals over campfires. Don't worry. We provide detailed demonstrations and all dietary requirements are accommodated. In fact, our outdoor cooking class is one of the most popular aspects of the course. Phones are allowed, but we ask you to keep them on silent and use them only in designated zones, particularly near the lodge. The goal here is to truly unplug and be present in the environment. You'll find that once you settle in, you won't miss your devices at all. Now let's get you ready to dive in. But first, a quick quiz to make sure everyone's alert.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to read questions 16 to 20. Now, listen and answer questions 16 to 20.
Let me now introduce a few members of our team, who you'll be seeing quite a bit of during your time here. First up is Imogen. She's our wildlife tracking expert, and she'll be leading a session on identifying animal prints and trails. She's been involved in conservation projects across the UK and brings an amazing amount of field knowledge to her role. Then we have Omar, who oversees the bushcraft and shelter building activities. He has a background in the military and now trains young people and adults in outdoor resilience. If you're building a shelter or learning about insulation from natural materials, you'll likely be learning from him.
Claire is in charge of our foraging workshops. She has a deep knowledge of local edible plants, roots, and mushrooms. She's also a certified herbalist, so her sessions often include natural remedies and teas you can make in the wild. Then there's Marcus, who runs our team challenges and navigation games. He's a former scout leader with a great sense of humor, so expect a lot of laughs and problem solving when you're in his group. Finally, we have Elsa, who is based mostly at the lodge, but also coordinates our wellness and mindfulness in nature program. She runs early morning breathing sessions, as well as quiet reflection walks through the woods. All of these team members wear different colored bandanas to make them easier to spot in the field. And if you ever feel uncertain about a task, they're the best people to talk to.
That is the end of part 2. You have half a minute to check your answers. Part 3. Part 3 is an academic discussion between a student and a professor, or between two students. You need to listen to their conversation and answer questions based on that. First, you now have some time to read questions 21 to 25. Now, listen and answer questions 21 to 25.
Hello, Maya. I've gone through your outline for the sustainability report, and I must say, your choice of topic is very relevant.
Thank you, Dr. Ellis. I've been reading a lot about fashion and its environmental toll. It feels like something more people should be aware of, especially younger consumers like us.
Absolutely. The fashion industry is one of the top polluting sectors globally. How have you narrowed down the topic?
Well, I'm focusing on the environmental consequences of fast fashion, particularly in relation to water usage, textile waste, and carbon emissions. I want to explore how consumer habits, especially in developed countries, are feeding into this cycle.
That's a smart angle. Are you planning to include any case studies?
Yes, I've chosen 3 companies to compare. H&M, which has a recycling program, Zara, which represents the typical fast fashion model, and Patagonia, which promotes slow fashion. I want to contrast their practices and impacts.
Interesting. How are you gathering your data?
I'm using sustainability reports from the brands themselves, supplemented by third-party audits and industry research. For consumer behavior, I've designed a short survey that I distributed to university students.
That's a good mix. And what's the response been like?
I received over 100 responses in 2 weeks. One surprising finding is that while many students say they care about the environment, over 70% still buy new clothes monthly, mostly from fast fashion retailers.
That's telling. There's often a gap between intention and action. Are you analyzing the psychological side of consumption?
Yes, I've included a section on disposable culture and the rise of fashion hauls on social media. It seems that trends and peer influence often override sustainability concerns.
Excellent. That adds depth to your research. Have you looked into how production affects different regions?
I have, for example, many fast fashion items are produced in countries like Bangladesh, where factories often lack proper waste treatment systems. I found reports on water pollution in the Dhaka River caused by dyeing facilities.
That's a powerful case study. Just ensure you present that data with citations. How about textile waste?
I included stats from the EPA showing that over 11 million tons of textile waste go into landfills in the U.S. annually. What's worse is that only about 15% is recycled.
Disturbing figures. And what alternatives are you suggesting?
I've explored clothing rental services, secondhand platforms, and slow fashion brands. I also included a comparative cost analysis showing that while slow fashion is more expensive upfront, it often lasts longer, making it more economical over time.
That's a smart way to make the argument relatable. People often assume sustainable fashion is unaffordable.
Exactly. I'm also highlighting innovations in fabrics, like biodegradable textiles and recycled polyester, though I mention their current limitations too.
Very thorough. And where are you in terms of word count?
I'm just above 3,800 words. I still need to write the final section on policy recommendations and conclusion.
That's perfect. Just keep your tone balanced and avoid being overly critical unless your evidence supports it.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to read questions 26 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
Have you started preparing for your class presentation?
Yes, I'm scheduled to present next Monday at 11:30 a.m. I've already drafted my structure and begun designing my slides.
Good to hear. How long is the presentation?
10 minutes plus a 5-minute Q&A. I plan to start with a quick poll asking students how many items of clothing they've bought in the past month.
That's a great way to engage the audience. And how many slides are you planning to use?
I've prepared 8 so far, including a short infographic video on textile waste.
Keep it under 45 seconds. Remember, you don't want to eat into your speaking time.
Yes, I've timed it. It's 38 seconds. I also have a comparison table on carbon footprints between fast and slow fashion brands.
Excellent. When do you need to upload your materials?
By Sunday at 6 p.m., according to the course portal. I'll probably submit it on Saturday to be safe.
Good plan. Are you rehearsing beforehand?
Definitely. I'm doing a dry run this Friday with 2 classmates. They'll give me feedback on clarity and timing.
Smart. I look forward to your presentation.
That is the end of part 3. Now you have 30 seconds to check your answers. Part 4. This part is a monologue where a person gives a seminar on a topic. You need to listen and answer all the questions at once. First, you have some time to read questions 31 to 40. Now, Listen and answer questions 31 to 40.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's seminar. We're going to explore the fascinating world of circadian rhythms, a topic that has gained increasing attention in the fields of biology, health, and even productivity science. Now, to start with the basics, the term circadian comes from Latin, circa meaning about, and diem meaning day. So, circadian rhythms are essentially biological processes that follow a roughly 24-hour cycle. These rhythms exist in almost every living organism, from tiny single-celled algae to complex beings like humans. The most well-known circadian rhythm in humans is the sleep-wake cycle. But that's just one piece of the puzzle. Circadian rhythms influence a variety of physiological functions, including body temperature, hormone production, metabolism, and even immune system activity. All of this is governed by a kind of master clock in our brains. This master clock is located in a structure called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN, which is part of the hypothalamus. The SCN receives input from the eyes, which allows it to synchronize with the external light-dark cycle. So when light enters your eyes in the morning, it sends signals to the SCN to reset the clock for a new day. One of the key hormones involved here is melatonin. Often referred to as the sleep hormone, melatonin is produced in the pineal gland, and its release is inhibited by light. That's why melatonin levels rise in the evening as it gets dark, helping you feel sleepy. Conversely, in the morning, as daylight hits your retina, melatonin production is suppressed, and you feel more alert. Interestingly, the circadian rhythm isn't exactly 24 hours. It's slightly longer, about 24.2 hours on average. This means that, without external cues like sunlight, our internal clock would slowly drift out of sync. This has been proven in studies where individuals were placed in isolation chambers without clocks or natural light. Over time, their sleep-wake cycles became irregular and misaligned. This brings us to the concept of Zeitgebers, a German word meaning time givers. Light is the primary Zeitgeber, but there are others too, such as food intake, exercise, and social interaction. These cues help keep our internal clocks in sync with the outside world. Now, when this synchronization is disturbed, problems can arise. One common example is jet lag, which occurs when you travel across multiple time zones and your internal clock becomes misaligned with local time. Your body might think it's still night when it's actually day. This results in fatigue, digestive issues, and mood disturbances. Another modern disruptor is artificial light, especially blue light emitted by screens. Smartphones, tablets, and LED lighting can delay melatonin production, making it harder to fall asleep. This is why sleep experts recommend avoiding screens at least an hour before bedtime. Shift work is another big concern. Nurses, factory workers, and emergency responders often work night shifts, which force their bodies to operate out of sync with their natural rhythms. Chronic misalignment like this has been linked to an increased risk of heart disease, obesity, and even certain cancers. On the flip side, when our circadian rhythms are well regulated, we tend to sleep better, think more clearly, and have more stable moods. There's even a term, chronotype, that describes your natural tendency to be more alert in the morning or evening. You might know people who are early birds or night owls. That's chronotype in action. It's also worth mentioning that not all body systems operate on the same exact schedule. While the SCN is the master clock, other organs, like the liver, lungs, and pancreas, have their own peripheral clocks. These are influenced by the master clock but can also be affected independently by factors like when you eat. Speaking of eating, meal timing plays a crucial role in regulating metabolic functions. Research has shown that consuming most of your calories earlier in the day, as opposed to late at night, aligns better with the body's insulin sensitivity and can help with weight management. One emerging field is chronotherapy, which involves timing medical treatments to align with the body's biological rhythms. For instance, some blood pressure medications are more effective when taken at night. while chemotherapy can be scheduled to minimize side effects and improve outcomes based on the timing of cell division in healthy versus cancerous cells. Athletes are also starting to optimize training based on circadian rhythms. Physical performance has been found to peak in the late afternoon when body temperature and coordination are at their highest. So to summarize, understanding and respecting your circadian rhythm isn't just about getting good sleep. It's tied to your mental clarity, physical health, metabolism, and overall well-being. From controlling screen exposure at night to adjusting your eating window, small lifestyle changes can make a big difference in keeping your biological clock ticking smoothly.
That is the end of part 4. You have now 30 seconds to check your answers. You have now 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet.